I'm going to share with you the 3 different ways that you can build muscle mass. And what people typically think is that the only way to build muscle is to lift the weights, and on the way back down from that movement you create little micro tears in the muscle which grow back bigger and stronger. And that is one way to build muscle, but there are 2 other ways to build muscle. And if you don't know those other 2 ways and you're not utilizing all 3 of them, you are missing out on a lot of progress.
Go, Webb! Up and away, Webb! Shazam! Go! Go! Go, Webb, go!
Before we begin, you want to stay to the end of this video, because at the end I'm going to share with you a workout plan and a way that you can actually combine all 3 into one workout so that you can get the most gains. So the very first way we can build muscle, which we lightly touched on before, is you place a muscle under resistance. So you're working around the 6 to 10 rep range and you'll put resistance on that muscle. So you'll lift, let's say, a dumbbell on a dumbbell bicep curl, and you will lift that weight up. On the way back down, you get little micro tears in your muscle. Those micro tears will grow back bigger and stronger when you eat enough protein, when you eat in a calorie surplus, when you get enough sleep. The idea is that you're teaching your muscle that more is required of it. You're teaching the muscle that it's not strong enough in its current form and that it needs to grow bigger and stronger because more is required of it. The reason you would use the rep range of around 6 to 10 for this is because if you're doing high reps, let's say 12 and above, you're not really going to be tearing muscle fibers down. And it's the same if you're doing just a 1 rep max. Let's say you're just going all out for 1 repetition. Yes, you can build strength, you can even build a little muscle from doing that, but you're not going to be tearing the fibers down in the same way you are in that 6 to 10 range. The second way that you can build muscle is by getting a pump. So the pump is that feeling that you get when you're lifting weights in the gym. It's like a tight feeling. You can experience the pump in every muscle, and that should be one of your goals, but typically you'll first notice this when you're working the biceps, maybe the chest. You're basically pumping blood, water, minerals, electrolytes into that muscle, and it's going to cause the muscle to swell temporarily. It's going to get bigger because you're pumping that muscle with the weight. The magic thing about getting a pump in the gym is that you actually increase your potential for muscle growth.
That's beautiful.
I think it has potential.
So what I mean by this is, when you get a pump in the gym, you actually stretch the fascia tissue, which allows more potential muscle growth. You can definitely get a pump in that 6 to 10 range that we talked about before, but really to get the absolute best pump that you can get, going higher reps, 12 plus reps, 15 reps, high reps is the best way and the fastest way to get a pump. Quickly before we get into tip number 3, if you've enjoyed this video so far, just click the little like button. It takes a second just to press that and it really helps me out. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job. It's going to mean the video can help more people. So please click the like button. So tip number 3 is actually to lift heavy weight. And when I say heavyweight, I'm talking in that 1 to 3 rep range, maybe 1 to 4. That sort of rep range where it's really challenging, it's really heavy. And the reason this is going to help you build more muscle is because when you lift that heavy weight, it's very strenuous, very taxing on the body. That's going to increase your testosterone, it's going to give you a boost in testosterone, and it's also going to make protein synthesis last a little longer as well. So having those things are going to help you build more muscle. As I promised at the start of the video, I'm now going to share with you how to utilize all of these things into one workout. So we have the 6 to 10 range where we're going to be tearing the muscle fibers down. And I do want to say that there are some give and take to these ranges. This is just an average. I'm not saying that if you go into 5 reps instead of the 6 to 10 range that you can't break muscle fibers down. I'm just giving you an idea of the rep ranges as a generalization. So the 6 to 10 range, we're tearing the fibers down. Above 12, we're going to be getting the best pump we can get, and then lifting heavy is going to help us with testosterone and protein synthesis. So how can we include this into one workout? So there's 2 ways to do it. The first thing you can do, and I alternate, what I do is set my workouts up as full body workouts. I have a whole video on why full body workouts are better than split routines, even though that's not a popular opinion. The studies do show that's the truth, and so does the experience, the results. So you can check that video out at the end of this video. So we're going to do 3 full body workouts per week. And let's take the bench press, for example. So let's say we're doing 4 sets of bench press. What we can do is our first set of bench press can be heavy, so 1 to 3. Then we adjust the weights to where we can get 6 to 10 reps on our second set of bench press. And then on that third set, we can go higher reps, so above 12. Now, if we was doing, like I said at the start, 4 sets, then you get that choice whether you want to go a little higher, maybe you go 20 reps, or maybe you have 2 sets in that 6 to 10 range, which is what I would typically recommend. You can do this with all your exercises or just some of your exercises, and it's not the most popular thing to do. And I'm not even saying it's the absolute best thing to do. Another strategy that we can use is to alternate. So let's say you do 6 weeks of training in the 1 to 3 range or 1 to 4 range, and then you might do another 6 weeks of training in the 6 to 10 range and do another 6 weeks of training in that 12 plus range. The idea is that you should be changing things around, because just utilizing one thing all the time, you're missing out on all the other things. So maybe your main thing is the 6 to 10 range, which is for me, but occasionally I will go really heavy and occasionally I will go really light. And then sometimes I'll do a workout where I introduce them all. So stay consistent with a workout plan, but don't forget to change things up. Don't forget to like the video if you didn't, and the next video you want to watch, which is on screen now, is me talking about why full body workouts are better than split routines.